What is going on, people? It is your boy Jones the Great, aka Auntie's favorite. Welcome back to Generation Genius, the podcast where we are creative and Christian. We like to have fun and all the things. I'm gonna have guests on here soon. I wanted to interview my boy Mark, but he is leaving, and we just didn't schedule that. I didn't schedule that properly. Anyway, welcome back. So I guess the theme of today would be how to overcome beat block. I feel like that is a really how to overcome creative block. I'm sorry, I said beat block. I was making beats before this, but how to overcome beat block is something that I'm really excited. How to overcome creative block is something that I cannot wait to get into. But the first thing that I would like to get into today is the scripture of the week, a scripture that I wanted to talk about with you guys. I really resonated with this, and so I'm gonna bring it up. So, scripture of the week, 2 Thessalonians 3 through 16. Now may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times and in every way. The Lord be with all of you. What I took from that, especially in a lot of seasons where I didn't feel peaceful, is that I would try to find peace in food, or try to find peace in movies, or try to find peace in books. And the last thing that I was doing was trying to find peace in God. Like I always knew God was there, and I always knew that He was Jehovah, He was Jireh, He was great, omnipotent, almighty, all the things. But He was not the first place I was going to for my peace. When I was angry, I wasn't going to God first. When I was sad, I was not going to God first. When I was craving or desiring something, I was not praying to God about it or going to God first. And I realized that, like, now that I'm older and I really desire Jesus and I desire the God in a different way, I do go to Him first, and He is my peace first. Like, hey God, I'm not feeling peaceful about this. I got to pray to you. Hey God, I'm not feeling right about this. I got to pray to you about it. And once I let Him in, and I completely let Him in, a lot of things became a lot easier. And we all have hard days, but there's a beauty and a peace in Jesus. There's just a beauty and peace in Jesus. And now may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times and in every way. That means in every way. That means that in any way that I desire God, He will be there. And in any way I desire His peace and His love, He's there. And it's instilled. The Lord is with, and He says, the Lord be with all of you. So even when you may not believe in Jesus, or you may be struggling to build a relationship with Him, the Lord be with all of you. Like, the Lord is here and He's ready and He's willing. And so that's why I love that scripture so much, because, like, nothing replaces God's peace, like nothing at all. And culture and the world definitely tries to tell us that this is how you find peace over here, and this is how you find peace over here, and this is how you may find peace. But, like, being part of culture, what I'm saying, and being a person in my 20s, everything that I've tried to do to find peace that wasn't God never led me anywhere. And the second that I discovered His peace and His love again, and actually letting Him in completely, and Him being my peace at all times, even when I wanted to smack somebody, there. So yeah, man, 2 Thessalonians 3:16. All right, next segment. Something I like to get into. One of the best movies of all time. All right, I'm gonna say this because it's a newer movie, but I have to say that Everything Everywhere All at Once is one of the best movies of all time. That is my opinion. That is how I feel, and you cannot tell me. That movie, which I have not seen happen in a long time, that movie not only is super hard to understand in the beginning, it's also quite simple to understand in the beginning. And the way that the story all comes together, and the way that pieces move, and the way that the writers wrote Everything Everywhere All at Once, I love how it all came together at the end. And I just think the cinematography was amazing. Michelle Yeoh was amazing. My man, Indiana Jones, was amazing. The way that how they won their Oscars was amazing. But the movie itself is just like, I think I got, all right. So the reason I feel like Everything Everywhere All at Once is one of the best movies of all time is because it's one of those movies that inspired me as a creative to go create something. Like the second the movie was over, I was like, I told my wife, I said, babe, I got so many ideas I need to write down. And I think that's what a great movie should do. I think great movies and great art should, at the end of the day, inspire you. Like, I know I'm not excited about something if I watch it and I don't go want to create it. Or if I'm listening to music and I don't want to like recreate the song I'm listening to, if I'm, and this is just for me, but if I'm usually, I count the best or greatest things of all time or things that inspire me to do something. You know what I'm saying? They inspired me to move. Like this song inspired me to change up my bank account, inspired me to raise my credit score, inspired me to be a better human. It's, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what great art does. And of course, art in movies is subjective. And of course, Everything Everywhere All at Once is subjective to some people. But that movie, something else that movie did too that I really loved is that it like brought back to me, that movie brought back that feeling of like, oh, I want to watch this again and break this piece down and break that piece down. It's like I'll keep watching this, I'm gonna watch this again. It's like became like an instant classic, instant favorite, but across the board for everybody. And it feels like, so the thing that's also crazy about Everything Everywhere All at Once is I believe it was filmed in like 33 days and it only had like 8 special effects people on it, and then it was edited on this dude's laptop for like his 2017 MacBook Pro during the pandemic. And I think that also inspired me to go, you don't need to extremely, Everything Everywhere All at Once also showed you don't need an extremely high budget to create something fantastic. You know, and of course, like as a musician and as a filmmaker and as a podcaster and as a creative in general, everything I do, sometimes I was like, well, I need a new MacBook and I need a new microphone and I need new this and new that, and it won't be better till I do this. And I'm like, am I really producing the best work I can produce with the camera I have? Am I producing the best music with the microphone and the production equipment that I have? And a lot of times it's like, no, I haven't made the best thing I can make with what I have. Because me spending $5,000 on new equipment, it just means I just spent $5,000. And I do believe in return on investment. But after watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, I was like, nah, man, we can do great things with close to nothing. You know what I mean? And I think it was cool seeing them win a lot of Oscars because like they were up against they were up against way higher budgets, way more quote unquote popular actors, and the odds were just not in their favor for Oscars. But that movie is like a classic. You know what I'm saying? And I think like a lot of the elements in the movie are branding wise was unintentionally probably done, but intentionally really smart because like T-shirts and branding deals and toys and all the things. I think like man, that movie was just so powerful. So yeah, one of the best movies of all time for me was Everything Every All at Once. And I tend to do classics, and I'll keep doing classics on the podcast. But that just one for me that was just fantastic. I didn't mean to sing it out loud like that. All right, next segment. Would you rather? This is a funny one. Would you rather have telekinesis? For anybody that doesn't know, that's the ability to move things with your mind, or telepathy, the ability to read minds. Whew. I'd rather have telekinesis. I'd rather be able to move things. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be able to move things. And I'm going to tell you why. If I was telepathic, the problem with telepathy is that I don't want to read everybody's mind. I don't always want to know what everybody's thinking because I wouldn't want somebody to always know what I was thinking. And I feel like it would kind of ruin the mystique of getting to know somebody. Like if I had read my wife's mind before we started dating, nah, but my wife is always in love with me, Loki. I'm cute. Nah, but like, yeah, having the power to actually read, all seriousness, having the power to actually read somebody's mind to me just does not sound. Nah, that doesn't sound. That doesn't sound appealing at all. But with telepathy, yo, if I could just move things, bro, like I'm thirsty on my water, it's right on the table right here. I think I see it. I want to, you know, like with telekinesis, I'll be able to bring it. Telekinesis. I could probably like get a little architect skills. Start building, putting buildings together with my mind. You know what I'm saying? I could, man. Actually, yeah, telekinesis, boy. Telekinesis will be fire. Somebody, make like get this right with telekinesis, right? I'd have the most fire escape rooms ever. Like with telekinesis, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, bro, I'm just had an epiphany. Yo, hold up, yo, with telekinesis, I could walk on water because yo, I could pimp walk on water with telekinesis. Yo, I would never move the same again. If we had to move out of the crib, I could just. Yeah, but then you see, my brain would probably hurt though. But nah, then I could strengthen it. I go to like a telekinesis gym, a TG, if you will. Oh, the possibilities are endless with telekinesis. Yeah, let me stop. Moving on. All right, so the main topic of the show today: how to overcome creative block. So, what I've learned with how to overcome creative block is this, right? So, I just have to start, honestly. That is how I beat creative block every single time. Like, I can, for 3 days, I won't work on anything, which hasn't happened in a minute. But like for 3 days, I won't work on anything. I'm like, yo, I can't make a beat. I can't do this. But how do you overcome creative block? Start. That's my number one thing I could say is just to start to overcome your creative block because sometimes we're not even uninspired. We're just like telling ourselves we are. Like I've learned too, sometimes I just have to pick up a pen and just write down exactly what I'm thinking. And then I get all the ridiculous thoughts out so I can get to the good. And make or sometimes I have to make like 10 bad songs to get to the good one. Or sometimes I have to work on a dance and I'll choreograph it and then I'll make it, be like, nah, I don't like this dance at all. And then I can scrap it and move on. And then that next dance is fire. But sometimes the first dance could be amazing. But I say that to say every single time I've had creative block has been because I am the one blocking it. Because life's a bar, bro. Like life is a bar. Life is a dance. Life is dancing. Life is making music. Life is writing things. Life is podcasting. And honestly, once I was more honest about who I am as Julius Rashawn Jones, is when everything just kind of started flowing. And sometimes too, I think with creative block, we can confuse creative block with exhaustion. Like if I go to bed for 4 hours a day for 3 days, right? I may not even have a block. My brain is just tapped out. My brain is done. Shoot, I'm tired now. Nah, but yeah, like that's really the thing. Like sleep is so important to not have creative blocks. Sleeping. Like if you've been up for 12 hours straight, if you've been up for 12 hours straight and you haven't been in bed, like part of that is like, yeah, you going to sleep. So those are my two things. Like one, start, and two, like go to bed. Go to bed and sleep and rest. And number three, I would say take breaks. Don't think too hard either, because I've learned if you're thinking way too hard about the things you're creating, then you're probably not going to create them, and you're probably going to you're going to burn yourself out by overthinking. Because sometimes the best thing you can't overthink. Sometimes, like today, I picked up the guitar today, and I don't even play guitar that well, but I picked up the guitar today, right? And I didn't know what I was going to make, and I ended up, I think I played something like G major, G minor, then I moved over another fret, and the next thing you know, I had a song that I sent to a homie that hopefully is coming soon. But yeah, man, like I had to just not overthink. Like I had to not. You can't overthink your creativity because from experience, me overthinking my creativity made me not want to create. Instead of overthinking, like I'm not afraid to get to the bad to get to the good, man. You got to get to the bad. You got to get to the nitty gritty. Or sometimes start with the word. Like with creative block, you're like, all right, TV. I want to make a song or write a movie about TV or do something with the TV. Then I'm thinking about TV. That a deep deep and then I'm a DG. I'm a DG. So I'm just playing. But or a candle. Like I want to do something about a candle. Candle. Handle. Mandel. Randall. That. Those are all terrible, but it's gonna spark something. And maybe, and if it doesn't, that's okay because you're working. and man, that's what I would say, bro. Creative block is the worst, but start, make sure you're sleeping, and don't overthink anything you do. That's it, man. Thank you guys so much for listening to me here talk. Um, I loved doing this with y'all today. It's really just me. Sometimes you make it solo, sometimes you make it multiple people. But I want to just thank you guys so much for listening if you're listening. And God bless you guys. And this has been Generation Genius. Thank you so much if you watched it and if you're listening. And I will see you guys soon. Peace out.